If you want real information with no fluff and no filler, check out Norwood Books. Browse categories like health, money, personal protection, content creation, media, global affairs, and more. Just go to www.norwoodbookstore.com. That's norwoodbookstore.com. Norwood Books. Real information, no filler. Created for people who want to learn more, think sharper, and move smarter. Global power is not chaos. It's strategy. The Global Chessboard, Volume 1, breaks down the hidden logic behind today's geopolitical moves. This report analyzes how economic pressure, technological dominance, military positioning, and strategic alliances are shaping the new world order. This isn't headline noise. It's a visual-driven intelligence brief connecting power, leverage, and global maneuvering. The Global Chessboard, Volume 1, available now. Click the link above, below, or in the description. If you've ever had a YouTube video demonetized, your channel suppressed, or your reach mysteriously drop overnight, you were not imagining it. Shadow banned. The YouTube Suppression Files is the investigative special report that proves it. Inside, you'll find documented evidence that YouTube secretly altered creator videos using AI without consent. That the Biden White House pressured YouTube to remove content that didn't even violate their own policies. That YouTube paid $24.5 million to settle a censorship lawsuit rather than defend their decisions in court. And that a federal judge stated racial discrimination in YouTube's content moderation was, quote, plausible. This isn't opinion. This isn't conspiracy. Every finding is sourced to federal court filings, U.S. Senate hearing transcripts, and YouTube's own legal settlements. 24 chapters, 7 parts. The full file on what YouTube has been doing to creators and what you can do about it. Get your copy now at norwoodbookstore.com. Norwood Global News. Real information. No filler. Built for independent thinkers.
Junk, and he started yelling the N-word. He kept going, so we let him go. And we were just discussing what just happened, why he tripping.
Welcome back to What's the 411 News, where we bring you news observation, interpretation, and news commentary from an FBA and BGR perspective. Let's get it. Welcome back, everybody, to What's the 411 News. And we have another FBA hero in the place. All right. So we reported on Anthony Moore, the FBA truck driver. You guys go to the YouTube short section. You can check out that video. He was able to stop an abduction in South Carolina. He just happened to be at the right place at the right time. And we'll be putting up a post where you can read the full article as well. And again, you can watch the video here. Go to the YouTube, go to the short section, and you can watch that video. All right. And yet we have another FBA brother who has did some amazing things, if you will. All right. So we have the Marine, Rommel Green. All right. He was prepared to go to war even on his block when there was a racist attack that occurred against his family. All right. So we're going to definitely get into that. Okay. We're going to pull up this article. We got some videos as well. We got some videos we're going to show you guys. And We're going to show that right after we get into this article here, okay? So, with that being said, Lee County family says man armed with the AR-15 style rifle racially targeted their gathering, okay? So, a Leesburg family recalled the moment a man armed with an AR-15 style rifle allegedly shot at their family gathering on Sunday, June the 7th, in an incident they said was racially motivated. According to the Lee County Sheriff's Office, deputies were called to the 100 and 200 blocks of Autumn Leaf Drive after receiving multiple reports of a shooting in progress. The sheriff's office said it stemmed from a verbal altercation. The resident of the home on Autumn Leaf Drive told a news source her family was visiting for a family reunion that particular weekend. At around 9 p.m., family members said they were standing in front of the yard when a car drove past the home. Jeffrey Tyler Kinzer, who officials identified as the suspect, and we will show you an image here shortly, was reportedly leaning out of the window, shouting racial slurs at the group. He's talking junk. He started yelling the N-word, Rommel Green, a witness had stated. He kept going, so we let him go. We just discussed what happened afterwards. All right. The person who lives at the home also said that she called the Lee County Sheriff's Office after Kinzer left. But about 5 minutes later, Kinzer and the driver returned. This time, Kinzer was reportedly wearing body armor and carrying a AR-15 style rifle. Okay. Those outside spotted the suspect and the gun from a distance and began running, Green said. Then Kinzer opened fire and Green said a bullet flew past him. People started taking positions because they saw he had a gun. And I was in the middle of the street, Green said. And we're going to pull up that interview here shortly as well, videos. And I grabbed my gun and started returning fire and moving with him. Okay. Green said he is a Marine veteran. He wanted to defend the roughly 20 children and older adults who witnesses said were at the home when the shooting occurred. It's so hurtful. I cried all night. Lucinda Broussard, another witness, said, I'm laying outside on the ground for a shootout. I'm under a car with my sister, who is 77 years old, and I'm 62 years old. According to Lee County Sheriff's Office, Kinzer was injured after being shot by a family member. The family said they were racially targeted. We were having a family gathering, and it was a great family gathering, Green said. It was peaceful. He came and caused that to happen. And he found out that he's not the only one that has training. All right. I'm going to speak on that in a minute, too. Kinzer was charged with aggravated assault. Should have been charged with attempt murder. After being cleared at the hospital, he was transported to Lee County Jail. All right. The sheriff's office in Kinzer was released. Oh, excuse me. The sheriff's office said Kinzer was released from jail on June the 9th. So he stayed in there for a couple of days, and he was released on the 9th on $5,000 bond. The family demands more serious charges. Yeah, I agree. See what I'm saying? Already. I'm going to speak on this in a minute. The sheriff's office said additional charges are expected. Okay. They said it's expected. There you go with the image of Tyler Kinzer, by the way. There he is. And so let's talk about those dates real quick. Let's talk about those dates. Okay, let's talk about those dates. Let's see here. All right, let's talk about those dates. Let's pull this back up. There we go. And let's look at something here. I want to say something before we get into it. June the 1st of this month, June, Rick Chow was acquitted. And you know, he shot young Cyrus in the back. Cyrus is not a threat to him. He gets shot in the back. All right. Then on the 7th is where the Kinzer guy, let's pull his image back up here. Let me make sure. Let's pull his picture up. There you go. So on the 7th, Kinzer and some unknown person. Now that's another thing. Not only should more charges be expected, but charges on the driver, the person who was driving Kinzer, needs to be charged too. You see how all these little games have been played right before the midterm elections are coming up. And that's something else that y'all need to pay attention to. When these midterm elections come up, start paying attention to months before that. These little incidents start happening with blacks getting attacked, or they'll bring up a case that happened several years prior that involved a black person either being neutralized, or in the case of Carmelo Anthony, it'll be a case where maybe a black person was protecting themselves, but then they're brought up on trial. And like I said, there's a lot of directions for this to go. And I'm going to stay on this date first, and then we're going to get into the other direction, which is the fact that there seems to be a message being sent by way of court prosecutions and things like that black people, this has happened before, some years prior, there seems to be a message being put out, and the message is being sent through people being charged in court, and you're getting the message from that black people are not allowed to protect themselves. All right. Black people are not allowed to protect themselves in this, and they're sending the message through things. You had Chud, the peg bottom. They was allowing him to go around and mess with black people until Chud, the peg bottom, started messing with people of his own race, and they were calling on him. And then when he was in that courthouse, or in front of the courthouse, and was trying to shoot that brother, I think was in the army. You keep messing with people in the army or military, and this is a message for any one of these guys, the Kinzers, the Jeffrey Tyler Kinzers of the world, the Chuds, the peg bottoms, the Rick Chows of the world. All right. What I'm thinking is going to start happening is some of these folks are going to try to get themselves emboldened to mess with black men, and you're going to run into retired police officers that are black that's going to fire back on you. They're going to bust back on you. You're going to run into retired police officers. You're going to run into retired black police officers, and probably most likely black American police officers. You're going to run into retired black American Secret Service agents. Excuse me. One day somebody going to run up on the wrong retired black Secret Service agent. You're going to run up on a retired black FBI agent, black American. You're going to run up on some retired black American military personnel from any branch. And you're going to find out you're going to get bust back on. They're going to bust back on you. So fair warning is all I'm going to say. Continue to do it. You're going to run up on the right ones that have training and have some skills. You're going to run up on some private security people that protect different executives and dignitaries, but they work and they have a private business. You're going to run up on those black Americans that run those businesses that protect other people, and you're going to get fired on. So continue taking the message from these court cases. The Rick Chow case. So this happened after, let me see, this was on the 7th. So it happened 6 days after the Rick Chow verdict. So I guess this Kinzer dude figured, well, Rick Chow got off for shooting a black boy in the back. Well, I'm gonna get off too for shooting at a black family. That's what he probably was thinking. Okay. Over some words exchange. So let me get back into this real quick. So June the 1st, Rick Chow was acquitted. June the 7th, Jeffrey Tyler Kinzer is involved in this shooting incident. And then June the 9th, Carmelo Anthony was convicted. All these cases involving black people. Let me see. Black male, black family, but the black male was the hero. The FBA brother from the Marines was the hero. And then another black male. Not too far off from November midterm elections. And then you have all these black Democrats out after everything is said and done. They all of a sudden want to pop out and act like they have some type of concern. And what you might not notice, there seems to be a pattern with them. You had Jasmine Crockett come out, Angela Rye, and maybe a few others. You might think they really care because notice what they do. All they do is get on camera and they repeat what happened in the incident when it comes to Carmelo Anthony. All they do is repeating what happened, and then they say a bunch of filler words and fluff after that, but nothing of no real substance. Jasmine Crockett didn't say that she's going to take some of her APAC money and put it on for Carmelo Anthony's books, right? She ain't Jasmine Crockett, who received APAC money, didn't say, well, I'm going to take some of my APAC money and I'm going to put it along with the other celebrities who was putting their money up to find some new lawyers, right, to file this appeal. Notice she didn't say that. I don't think Angela Cry didn't say anything of that sort either. She was offering any money. So although there's been some sad incidents that occurred, it's exposing things. It's exposing people. It's exposing the Democratic Party. It's exposing the Republican Party. All right. So I just wanted to bring that up. June 1st, Rick Chow was acquitted. If I'm not mistaken, go back and check the dates. Put it in the comments if I'm incorrect. But June 1st, Rick Chow acquitted. June 7th, Kinzer shooting occurred. He got bust back on by a Marine. And like I said before, I'm going to repeat it again. Before I repeat it, June the 9th, Carmelo Anthony is convicted. So you got 1, 7, and 9. All right. A lot of you white supremacists, a lot of you Asian white supremacists, if you will, any of you Caribbeans, your Latinos, think you're going to go on and continue busting back at black families, black males. You think you're going to jump them. You're going to run into what's going to end up happening. Y'all going to start running into some retired black police officers that got some gunplay skills. You're going to run into some black Secret Service retired who got gunplay skills. You're going to run into some black military retirees that have some gunplay skills. You're going to run into some black American private security personnel who got gunplay skills. And you're going to start seeing, once that starts happening and you start seeing all these black folks dropping these white supremacists, they start dropping these Asians who want to bust back on black people. They're going to, if any Latinos decide they want to start doing the same thing, when they start busting back on everybody, then you're going to see all that activity start slowing down. Some of them might get the same treatment that Carmelo Anthony got for simply protecting themselves or family, but maybe most won't because of their former positions in military, private security, police officers, FBI. Shoot, it might be a CIA retiree that's black. That's a black American. You might roll up on a CIA retired officer, and that officer busts back on you. All right. See, black Americans are in those professions. A lot might be retired, and you might run up on one of them one of these days and find out it was too much for you to handle. So continue thinking that because something that the courts are allowing and the legal and the law system is allowing this to happen, that Daniel Penny choking somebody who wasn't a threat in the train in New York was allowed to choke out and kill this guy who was just yelling and talking to himself out loud. You got plenty of those in New York that just talk, and in other states that just run around and start talking to themselves. Didn't present a threat to anybody, but you want to choke out people. Now you're going to find out what's going to happen is you're going to start these folks who decide you want to do something anywhere around the U.S., you're going to start running into some Black American males who are retired from any one of these professions or still active. Watch and see. All right. So now I digress from that. So we read the article. Okay. And on the screen again is Jeffrey Tyler Kinzer. He had the nerve. We're going to pull up these videos here in a sec. And then the interview with the brother, the FBA Marine. We're going to pull up that interview. But this guy here you see on the screen wanted to drive by. Whoever was driving him by needs to be arrested as well, unless he's going to cooperate to give Jeffrey Tyler Kinzer major maximum time. Unless he's going to do that, he needs to be arrested as well, he or she. So this guy goes in the car, starts yelling obscenities, N-words, and we'll play the video. You got to listen closely to it because it's kind of low. I should have had the audio a little bit louder. Let me see something real quick here. I got to set some of these videos up. So let me make sure everything is at the beginning. All right, we got that one. And so he drives by, have some words. Rommel is out there, right, with some friends and probably family, probably more family than anything. Let me see what else we got. Okay. And he started wanting to throw the N-word out and everything like that. Comes back, I think they said within 3 minutes is what the article said, before the police could arrive. Excuse me. And he threw on some body armor and some, I guess maybe he threw some military gear on, who knows. Then he thought he was going to come back and get busy. But then the FBA brother had to regulate. Know what I'm saying? The brother had to come out and, I was like, yeah, we're going to regulate. His training kicked in. All right. That Black Marines training kicked in. It's like, oh, this is, I've been familiar with this. This ain't nothing. All right. And so, yeah, let's get him out the way. And let's start off with the first video that kind of got things started and set things off. So let's take a look at this one. All right. Did y'all hear it right there? I'm going to play it again from the beginning. He said it a couple of times. The car went by. Let's play it one more time. Y'all might have put your ears to your phones or your TVs, however you watching me, your laptops or tablets, and listen closely. I'm going to play this whole thing again. All right. So you heard it all go down. All right. And it was just within minutes that the Kinzer guy came back. And if y'all didn't hear it, just play it back, play the video back and just put your ears to it. You'll hear it. if you can't hear it, just holding it in front of you at a regular distance while you're watching the video, just put it to your ear for a few seconds. You'll hear the N-word being spewed out. And so after that happened, I guess he wanted to suit up and boot up and then come back. And then this is what took place. All right, so that took place. Okay. And so let me see something real quick. Because it kind of looked like, I don't know if that was the brother going out there and making the clapping start happening. I don't know if he was doing the clap back. See, I thought that might have been him right there. May not have been. But somebody kind of went back out in the field right there. All right. So that took place. And this guy here was he was injured in the whole melee because he thought he was going to do all the shooting, but the FBA hero caught him with the clapback. Rightfully so. That's what you're supposed to do. Stand up and protect yourself. And I posted a question on Facebook, and I'm gonna pose it here as well. I'm gonna post that as well. I think only one person answered. That's so sad. I asked the question. I said, for those who believe in God, I said, do you think God thinks it's okay for you to get beat up, hurt, injured? I made it short. I didn't add anything, but I said, you think God thinks it's okay for you to get beat up or for you to protect yourself? But I'm going to add a little bit more to it. Do you think it's okay? Do you think God thinks it's okay for you just to stand around, to be attacked, to be shot at? And if you have the ability to protect yourself and bust back, do you think God wants you to just not do it and just get hit up with holes and then, everybody praises you and says, well, you was a good person? Or do you think God gave you the ability to think, to move around, and you are legally within your rights to protect yourself, that you should protect yourself? You can legally have a gun and you should be protecting yourself. So I'm going to ask that to all of y'all. Do you think that God thinks it's okay for you not to, as Black people, Black Americans, oh, you're not to protect yourself. You're just supposed to get injured, hurt, and, we'll deal with it at the funeral? Or do you think that God gave you the ability to swing if you had to use your hands, if you have some skills, some self-defense skills, some hand-to-hand, empty hand skills, if you have training in guns, or you legally able to carry a gun, that God says, you know what, they busting at this person, they have a right to protect themselves. I didn't just give that person life to take this person's life away. This person is to be able to protect their life as well. Y'all answer that and put that in the comments. I'm curious. Excuse me. I only got one response on Facebook. Let me see how many responses I get for this question. All right. And so finally, we're going to go into the interview real quick, and then we're going to get out of here. All right. So here is the interview, short interview of the brother Rommel Green, breaking it down what took place. All right, let's get into it.
And junk, and he started yelling the N-word. He kept going, so we let him go. And we were just discussing what just happened, why he tripping.
But Green says Kinzer came back, this time wearing armor and carrying a rifle.
Oh my God!
And then that's when everybody started running. He got a gun. All the kids, they was making sure the kids get in the house. And people started taking positions because they seen he had a gun. And I was in the middle of the street. That's when he raised it and fired. Boom. And I grabbed my gun and started returning fire and moving with him.
Green says he's a Marine veteran. He says he was willing to defend his family, including children and older adults who were present.
It was so hurtful. I cried all night. I'm laying outside on the ground through a shootout under a car with my other auntie, my other sister, who is 77, and I'm 62.
All right. So, yeah. This brother said he got out his gun, returned fire, and started moving with him. All right. He was moving with him. He ain't just bust and kind of take cover. He probably bust a few times, take a little cover, seen where he moved. He started moving, changed position, moved on after him. That training kicked in, automatic, without a thought, without having to think about it. And again, like I said, if you continue, and I'm talking to those who think they want to take their cues from these court verdicts, these court cases, these Rick Childs being let off for shooting somebody in the back, Carmel Anthony being charged for protecting himself, and a whole host of other cases where Black people were protecting themselves. We can go back to the Zimmerman. I think, if I'm not mistaken, Zimmerman was getting his face popped in and bust, and he had to pull out a gun for following a child. He had no business walking and seeing where the child was going. And these seems to be a thing where people got a certain particular group of people always got to feel like they have to go out because they see somebody walking the neighborhood or jogging. I got to see where they going. I want to follow them. Then when you want to run up on them and think you're going to regulate, and then they give you that work, then all of a sudden I got to pull out my gun. But you shouldn't have been following them in the first place. You should have just got on the phone. If you're that concerned, I just see somebody walking down the street. Can you go check them out? Which is another one of their tactics to do, in hopes that they hope that the police shoots at the Black person, mainly Black males. Again, we just did a video, YouTube Shorts video, where a young Black girl, I think she just graduated from high school, I think. And she was being followed by some white guy pretending to be the police. And he was arrested. That guy was arrested. We're going to put the article, the post, so you can go, be taken to read the article so you can get the details on that. So there seems to be a big messaging through the court system saying, Black people, you're not allowed to protect yourself. If you protect yourself, you're going to go to jail in most cases. But in this case, I guess maybe it's the video. I don't know or because their profession might have been, because it was more respected that it was someone from the Marines. Or like I said, the next person who might try this, you're going to run up into a retired Black police officer, and that Black police officer going to bust on you and regulate. Or you might run into a Black CIA retired officer or agent, as some people use, and that retired CIA officer going to put in some work. You might run into a retired Special Forces. You might run into a retired Army Ranger. You might run into a retired Black American Green Beret. You might run into a retired Black American Navy SEALs. They got some of them in SEALs too. They might have some in the Delta Force. You might run into them and think you're going to bust on something and get your wig pushed back So that's just fair warning for y'all who think everything is sweet. You think you're going to get away with it because the Rick Childs of the world got away with it. And the Metcalf family's got away with some stuff. You thinking the courtroom is sweet. Or you think the street's going to be sweet on you. The court system. You're going to run into the right one. And the more times that keeps happening, then people are going to kind of start rethinking if they should be going out here doing what Chud the peg bottom was doing. There's going to be a lot of y'all Chuds, a lot of y'all Rick Childs of the world, and a lot of your Kinzers, Tyler Kinzers of the world think you're going to come out here and fire on folks. You're going to run into the ones who got some skills, the skills to get ill, and then it's going to make a lot of people reconsider. And then you had those brothers who, was it the Latino dude was shooting his girlfriend or his wife or something like that, and the two brothers tackled him down. I think they put some hands on him too. They was trying to reach out and touch, trying to have a talk with him. He didn't want to talk, so he had to walk. He had to walk it out instead of talk it out. So continue letting the courts gas you up in the head thinking you're going to shoot somebody black, you're going to shoot a black family, and think that you won't have nothing happen in return. You're going to be sadly mistaken. Facts. I appreciate y'all for checking this out. Be sure to subscribe. Always getting some new subscribers. I appreciate y'all definitely for that. Tell your friends and family about the channel. We be broadcasting on live. All of this goes out live to Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch. We're gonna get ready to connect with Rumble and connect with Odyssey. Some of y'all not familiar with Odyssey. We're gonna connect with those platforms, maybe even Kick. So it will be going live to all those platforms pretty soon. And a lot of people are gonna know about us. And yeah, so tell your friends and family about us. Have them subscribe to the channel. Have them check out the channel, and comment. Hit that thumbs up. It costs you nothing to hit the thumbs up button. Okay, and we'll be back with another one pretty soon. All right, this is What's the 411 News, and I'm out of here. Peace. Welcome back to What's the 411 News, where we bring you news observation, interpretation, and news commentary from an FBA and BGR perspective. Let's get it.